Good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome to Morning Cuppa JoY. It is time. It's time to get your cup and fill it up. It may be a little empty this morning, but it doesn't have to be for long because we're going to the edge of the galaxy. So come on in. Hi, Pat Moss. Good afternoon to you. Happy Saturday, everyone. Let's get some music playing. Blue. Yes, we have sparkles, sparkles, sparkles. Oh my gosh, the Fae would love this place. Well, they do love this place. Let me see if I can get the music playing for us. Here we go. Here we go. It is a beautiful day. Here in sunny Florida, it absolutely is.
Chasing coins, because it's a beautiful day.
Thank you, Andrea. Good morning.
Isn't all? So come on, let's play.
Oh, the girls are up. Yay.
Forget the rush, you're in and find a good spot. Sit down and join us as we sing a good song. Keep back, relax, and just follow along. Oh, we got plenty of time. Taking it easy won't cost you a dime. Throw another log onto the fire. Because it's a beautiful day.
What you meant to do. Say this twice. I'm going to tell her to stop. Good morning, everybody. Andrea, thank you for being here. Kathleen, we have a group today. Let's scoot it back so we can see our Ileana. I'm sorry, Oksana. I'm not awake yet. Can you tell?
Good morning, everyone.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Look at this. We're from another planet, from the edge of the
We're
galaxy.
at the edge of the galaxy, and it is the portal
To the planet at the edge of the galaxy.
to the planet Batu at the edge of the galaxy. I love that this morning. So even when we go to the edge of the galaxy, we do the heart, mind to the divine, because the divine is everywhere, whether we're on Earth or on another planet. And so, hi, Kathleen. Thank you for being here. All right. So touching the heart center brings our focus there. Breathe in deeply into your heart. And relax that breath out slowly. Add in some love, compassion, joy. Just keep breathing in deeply and slowly and breathe out slowly. And your body actually does change when you do this. Just feel the connection this morning. Go into gratitude when you feel it. every day when I wake up and say, thank you, God, for another day alive. And that gets everything going in the right direction. And for anyone who may not be familiar with this heart-brain method of coherence, it changes the cells in your body. It starts the repair process. So if there's anything going on physically, it's good to do this at least for 3 minutes to get you into that coherent state. And then just allow the benefits to happen by doing so. Doesn't that feel good? I was doing this before I went to sleep last night. I had kind of a rough day yesterday, and it just felt so good to fall asleep after I had done the heart-brain coherence. Do you tell a difference when you all do it?
Definitely.
Yeah, it was common.
Yeah, it does. It feels so peaceful after I've done that. And I have the knowingness of what's going on because science has proven that when we do that, it changes our brain state and it puts us into a higher state where our body knows what to do. It knows how to heal, because all healing comes from the inside.
Yes.
Yeah. We have Kathy Hand. Good morning, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy.
And good morning, Rosalind. Good vibes.
All right.
I know, I'm so happy Rosalind is here. All right, well, I have asked Auntie Jean to pull our Kuan for us this morning. And let's see what she has to say.
Right here. I don't know that we've had this one before.
Okay.
Here's the picture. I don't know that I can get close enough, but here you go.
Beautiful picture.
And it says, brightness of your future. Listen to your discontent, your yearnings. You know what? I can't read
Okay, read it, honey. I know you don't have your glasses on, sorry, but thank you for pulling it.
Uh-huh.
Listen to your discontent, your yearning. You want something true. You should not just be quiet and get back to your day job or how things have been, as if you are making a drama out of nothing. You are meant to be moved by these feelings, to become more alive. Trust in the brightness of what is meant to be. How many times do we have that dream and we're thinking, I'm just a dreamer. That's just a daydream and it's never going to happen. And so we get back to the way things are instead of saying, is it possible? Well, you know, anything is possible, isn't it?
Yes. Absolutely. I think that's comes for me because I want to move into new kind of career.
Yeah.
And that all the drama that's happening in work, like, yeah, it's just the indications for me to move to into something new.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last night.
Yeah,
And yes, Kathy Hand, that is our lovely Oksana.
Good morning, everyone. We just all woke up.
we did.
And it's her first time here on the Morning Cuppa.
For having me.
Oh, we're so happy that you joined.
And we were talking about that last night, about the difference between your talent, your skill, and your passion. And sometimes that's what that card reminded me of, because we've had this wonderful retreat now. Now we're going to go back to our daily, whatever it is we were doing, or are we going to keep that passion that we gained at the retreat?
Yeah,
Looking to the future, doing what we want, that we know our heart, our soul tells us to do.
exactly. It's our choice. And, you know, we had support at that retreat. We were all there. We were hugging on each other, loving on each other, encouraging each other. We still have that support. Just because the physical bodies aren't there, the emotional, the spiritual is. It's so important to remember that we don't have to have the physical. And that really brings it to light when someone passes out of their physical body. We don't have to have that physical body there. We have the spirit body. And that's really what we all are. We just see ourselves in this physical shell.
Hi, Linda. I hope you're better.
Linda Lemieux, good morning. Oh, Linda, we are so close to you right now. We're in Fort Pierce and we'll be in Boca in a few hours. We'll drive down there and see our Mary Quincoli and pick up the keys to where we're going to be staying for the next 2 weeks. And what did Jean say? It says, Oksana, aren't they the cutest, funniest ladies around? Well, she hasn't seen much funny from me because I really was not feeling well yesterday, guys. And I unfortunately got here and crashed in her bed.
No, we had a good time with Jane.
Oh, we had a good visit.
Yeah, Teri left us behind. She said no and crashed on my bed, and we had a good tea time.
We did.
Yes, we did.
We looked at my cards, read some poems. So
Oh, she's a wonderful poet. I hope that we get to read some of her poems.
Well, I'm hoping she'll read some this morning.
no,
No?
I do have, actually, I can read one from Hafiz.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, maybe you can read one because you closer to microphone.
Oh,
Can you all hear her okay? Because I love your voice.
I
could sit and talk to this lady all day. I just
You're so
love.
kind.
She's so wise and very wise also in how to heal naturally. And I very much appreciate that because she helped me last night a lot.
Yeah. Jean says no, she can't hear her.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't hear Oksana. Okay, I can read it. Yes, not a problem. Just going to see what else we have. Jean Walensky says, never live in the past, silly girls. Live in the now, of course. And Kathy says, yep, I am guilty of pushing my true wants and desires aside because I feel I need to take care of others first. And what did you learn at the retreat, Kathy? Has to be me first. And that is not selfish. You know, putting yourself first is never selfish. It's always caring, because if we don't care for ourselves, we're not able to care for anybody else. Linda's feeling better. Yay. And Marietta, our beautiful heart lady. Yeah, we're going to make sure Oksana gets a heart. I gave one to Michelle yesterday, Michelle Landers.
She was so thrilled.
She now has your heart, Marietta. But yeah, we'll make sure Oksana has one as well. Am I reading the circles or the great circles? Okay, we have a reading this morning. Yay, it's story time. Jim is here. Oh, Jim says love and light to you and all the peas. So grateful to be able to spend the morning with you guys. We're grateful for you, Jim, and thank you for being at our wonderful retreat and for sharing with us of your wisdom and your love. And Deirdre, good morning. All right. It's called Circles, and this is from I Heard God Laughing, Poems of Hope and Joy. Circles. The moon is most happy when it is full, and the sun always looks like a perfectly minted gold coin. That was just polished and placed in flight by God's playful kiss. And so many varieties of fruit hang plump and round from branches that seem like a sculptor's hand. I see the beautiful curve of a pregnant belly shaped by a soul within, and the earth itself and the planets and the spheres. I have gotten the hint. There's something about circles the beloved likes. Hafiz, within the circle of the perfect one, there is an infinite community of light. I love this. And Brookie, I know you're listening, and I just thought of you when I read that one line. I see a beautiful curve of a pregnant belly shaped by a soul within. Oh, Brookie, I hope you take that to heart, because that's what's happening with you. And how beautiful is that poem?
Yes,
Thank you for choosing that one.
Thank you for reading it.
Yeah. So what touched you about it to want to share that poem?
I think because if we know how to live in circle, and if we made our circle like a circle of reverence, maybe our kind of foundation, we will be happier, instead of like a structure. Like we yesterday we were talking about cosmology with Jane, about the structure of the universe, and I believe, of course, it's a flow of life, and that's a circle, and everything, even the future of our, I would say, planet, if we would shift from a profit economy to a circular economy, when it just sustains each other, we would be better off.
Oh, much better off.
So and then we were talking about that, and I remember, I have a perfect poem to reflect the philosophy behind, and it's called Circles. And I agree.
Oh,
There's
I
something
agree.
happy about circles.
Totally. Yeah, I had that revelation many years ago. I thought, everything just kind of goes in circles when we think about it.
Circle of life,
Circle of life.
Energy. It's one. The
Mhm.
circle is one. Yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Right?
Even circumference of the circle is 369, right?
Mhm.
Which is the code of
The
God.
universal code of God. Yeah.
Creation, because that God programmed everything. Yeah, so I guess circles is so we have to dig deeper.
It is. You're right.
But thank you for asking.
Yeah.
You knew Bertie was going to have a baby, right?
You mentioned one of the shows, and that line, I missed the thought of her as well.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I placed my hand on her belly to just feel that energy, that beautiful baby that's forming, and that new life in there, the new soul that's going to be here.
Twice as bright.
Oh, she is. Oh my God. Yeah, she's like the sun shining right now. She's so bright.
Wonderful.
Um,
Fascinating.
Brooke says, thank you. I love you. So nice to see Oksana.
Thank you.
Her son's name Max too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oksana's son is Max. We met Max last night and had dinner with him. And then he's going to have a Max.
Nice. So his full name is Maximus?
Maxwell.
Ah.
Oh, Oksana's son is Maximus.
But he said, Mama, go by Max.
Yeah, of course.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because our names, they carry certain vibration, and the full name, basically, in a way, it's our part of our signature, part of our
It
fate,
is.
and we, because A represents X, and the kids, they intuitively know they're not ready for to step into this role,
Right.
because each syllable, each vowel has certain vibration and certain role to fulfill. And that's why it's certain names when they're kids.
Yes.
When eventually, when they grow, they switch it to the full name.
Yeah. Some of us take kids though.
And well, and that's another way of they from
Yes.
from fulfilling you.
Yeah. Yeah. When I do the angel messages for anyone, the angels want them to speak their name, their first name, because there's an essence to it. And that's what the angels pick up on. Is that
And it's important when the people transition to adulthood, I address them their full name. And they're like, no, just call me Mikey. Like, no, your full name is Michael. I'm more comfortable.
Yeah.
Just to remind his soul, it's time, I mean, just gently,
Right.
just by calling his full name.
Yeah. When we were kids, if our full name was said, we were in trouble. course, I came from a very big family and they usually went through 3 or 4 names before they got the right one for me. It's like, who's in trouble? Maybe it's just all of us. Who knows?
Yeah, so the names. That could,
They are. Linda says circles, the circle of life, friendship circles, nature circles,
Absolutely.
book circles. We have so many circles in our life. Pat Moss says, my middle daughter is refusing to bring the grandchildren down to be with Olivia and Tom. She has fell out with her sister, their mom, need to manifest to bring her back to the family circle. Pat, thank you for bringing that to our attention so we can lift you up and lift her up and those beautiful grandchildren that need to be with you and know you and your beautiful self. So we're going to add, who is it, your middle daughter, we're going to add her into our prayer circle that we pray every day. And Pat, I know it's hurtful. I know it is. So just send love. You know, we talked about that. We've talked about it a lot lately. And with Michelle, when we were there, the best thing you can do when something is going on that's in a dissonance or discord is send love into it. You know, when we send anything other than love, that's a resistance and that explodes it and it gets bigger. You send love and that's the healing energy. Kuan Yin says love is the energy that heals. So send love right into the situation and right into your daughter, your grandchildren. Just let it be healed by God.
So I have an interesting story to tell. So my friend, one of my friends, she came for a cup of tea. And of course, I love my books. And I have this book full of prayers. And I said, oh, what is it? I'm like, it's a book of prayers, but why don't you just pick any page? Sometimes that's the message she wants to come through. So she's like, okay. So she randomly opened the book. And the first prayer that was on that page was asking guardian angels of your siblings and your family. Basically, you ask guardian angels of your family, of your sisters, of your daughters, right? Of your mother or father, to whisper into their ears, to remember, you know, your love and light. So discord can be dissolved and only love and joy. So she was so taken. She had she had fallen out with her family. So she wrote down that on her card, put it on her little altar, and she said I was saying it every morning. And I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, and she said, I made that with my family.
Oh, wonderful.
And
It
so
works
that's
miracles. It does. Prayer does.
It was so what a wonderful story.
That's a great story.
It's so great. I'm so glad you found that prayer and the perfect for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And prayer is love. You're bringing love into a situation when you pray for it. Yeah.
From that book.
Prayers from the Heart by Laura Byrne.
The prayer was from that book. You can even make a picture and you can send it to Patty.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie's here. Hi,
Charlie.
Charlie. And Kathy Hand says, as I grew into an adult, I do appreciate my full name more, especially since my goddaughter is named after me, Catherine. It makes me feel more beautiful. Oh, you are beautiful, Catherine. And
What happens when you're stuck with a name like Jean?
Jean's a beautiful name.
It means your growth is already fulfilled from the childhood you get in your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't shortened.
I think there needs to be a sanctity.
Oh my goodness.
Your short name is already because it's too loud. So it's already, you
Okay.
already have a full road ahead of it. So don't.
Thank you.
And I love that we call you Auntie Jean.
Auntie
That
Jean.
has a beautiful resonance to it also.
Yeah, it's gotten to where, you know, when someone says, who are you? I say, Auntie Jean.
Yeah, that's right, because that's who you are. So near and dear to our hearts.
Oh,
And Kathy Hand says angel circles too.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have one tonight at 6:30 in Fort Lauderdale. I know some people are going to be there that are part of our P family. So very happy about that.
And just
Kathy says, isn't it painful when families fall apart? Just keep shining your loving light, and hopefully they will be guided by you to come back together to love. Yeah. Can I hold the book up again?
I got it on a thrift store, there's like a website for thrift books, and it cost me $3.
Oh, wow.
You know, like thrift books.
We certainly got your money's worth.
Yes.
And this is the one that we read the reading out of earlier, the circles. I don't know if you can see that.
Like this.
I've copied down all her books.
And right, Mama the Bear says Fibonacci circles found in all of nature. Absolutely. Yeah. And Kathy says, will your angel circle be on angel speakers? No, I'm not putting that online. It's just too difficult to try to set up the room to do that, but we will record it. And I'll make sure that you all get the opening message that the angels always give, that collective message for us all. Yeah, Rick is going to be there, and Josie and Mary Quincoli will be there.
I love the cinnamon.
Deirdre says, lovely to meet you, Oksana.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Jean, how are you loving Florida?
I really enjoyed it so much. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be like. Actually, today it's kind of like what I thought it was going to be. She lives in a beautiful place, and she has this wonderful view. What do you call that? A harbor?
Marina.
A marina. And it's just gorgeous. The boats and the sun and the blue sky. Yes, I love it. It's beautiful. So I don't know what I thought about Florida, but I thought it was mostly sand and water, I guess.
It really is very diverse.
It is. Went through a forest, and there's horses and cows. Never really thought about that.
And the wild hogs that we
And
saw
wild
along the way.
We have lots of cows for that. I think we stayed number second after Texas in cattle production, and all because Texas has more land, so they have more cows but we have more cows. Yes, and they were brought, by Spaniards.
Sure.
The Florida was their stock to, so they were brought like the cows, the pigs, drop them here. So when they were sailing back to Spain from taking the gold, like Cuba was their headquarters, but they will make a stop at Florida coast to fill up on the supplies. And that's how the whole fleet, unfortunately, I don't know how the history goes, was devastated, I believe it was like 1712, 1710, when 12 ships just sunk.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why it's called vesicles.
Right, there's a lot of ships down on the bottom of the ocean.
Well, it was the whole fleet of ships that were going back to Spain. They were hauling lots of gold to the Spanish crown because at that time they had Spain wars, so they couldn't be here for 10 years. So they were loaded, and then the person who was navigating that fleet was not really skillful. He was promoted because, and there were signs of the hurricane coming. He ignored them. So they took off, but the wind brought them to the Florida coast, and because of the shallow coast, they all sunk except one, the light one, the military brigade. That's my clear history. So there was so much gold, and they still discovered
Oh, yeah, that's why people love to scuba dive here in
Yeah.
Florida.
But they have a water right. So if you find a golden coin in the water, you have to report it. If you find it on the shore, you can keep it.
Oh, really? I just tossed it on the floor.
There we go.
I
That's
found
what-
it right
That's what Mark said. Mom, how would they know where I found it?
That's true.
Yes.
I'm with Max.
Got it. You're keeping that golden coin.
You should see her Star Wars house. They've got a corner here with all kinds of, it's amazing. It's amazing. Ships and his room is full of Star Wars stuff. And it's just amazing.
It really is.
That's why
Mhm. So Josie, I just sent Rick a link into his messenger. She said Ricky couldn't find us on Facebook. Yeah. And Kathy wants to know if we can put Oksana's book names in the Cuppa chat. Yes, we will do that. And what else we got? Linda said there are black bears. We had one in Royal Palm Beach about 2 months ago, mostly in Central and North Florida. I remember, Linda, when you were taking me over to Tampa for a doctor's appointment, and my job was to look for bears while you drove.
Well, she tells me, look there.
So I told Jean the same thing. Jean, look for bears while I drive.
And all the dogs.
She saw 2 wild hogs on the side of the road. Yeah. There's our Ricky. Hi, darling. And hello, Senchita. Thank you for being with us this morning. And the Panthers, Linda says.
The
We do
Panthers.
have Panthers.
Everywhere you go, they call them a different thing. Where we were, they were calling them catamounts.
No, that was the wildcat.
Oh,
Panthers are the black
Wow.
one. They're vicious.
Thanks.
Mhm.
But, so I saw one here a couple of years ago.
oh, really?
And the once I come out and was a huge owl sitting on the roof.
Oh,
And it was
I
so,
love
so
owls.
it was very. And from time to time, you can see eagles,
Oh, yes.
you know, like circling, hunting. Of course, there is lots of other birds.
The osprey are here.
Ospreys all the time. I drive on the beach, there's always an osprey sitting. Sitting with the fish. Hunting.
yes.
That's the way.
I say hi, cell phone.
Can you wave?
There's that. We had a Max sighting. Oh, wow, what a great time this morning. Great discussion. And we have a new person, Sanchita. Thank you for being with us. So it's time for our prayers, ladies. Do you see how fast this goes? We just get on, we do a little chatting, and then it's like, oh, it's time to go already. So for those of you interested, Jean and I will be on the road again today, and we would love those travel prayers because they do help. We've had just a couple of incidents.
Oh, yeah.
We knew that Michael was pushing cars out of the way or stopping an accident from happening right in front of us. Yeah, there's been a few. So we know that your prayers do help, and we know that the angels are supporting us on this trip. Luz, good morning to you. All right, so any prayer requests that you have, just type them in. Deirdre, prayers for all humans, Gaia, and world peace, and also attention to human trafficking. Yeah, I think it was the last rest area, or what do they call it, service plaza we were in. There were some huge signs that were bringing attention to that. So I was happy to see that those are being posted up in the rest areas. It was a very busy place too.
Florida is a busy place. That's one thing. The traffic is really busy here.
Yes, and we had such an influx of people moving in after.
Yes.
Yes, so you see all of a sudden I used to see, we only had like that winter season when people would come and stay here. Like this community, snowbirds. Thank you. So now they're like all year round. So people before in summertime, this community pretty much dead, like a ghost town. And there's you can tell by cars they were like all fall down to the parking spots. And now lots of people. It's interesting how. And then when I drive, I always see plates from New York, Michigan, Canada, and
Those cold
and
places.
California. Haven't seen so many plates 5 years ago, so I can check. I can see migrations,
Yes,
movement,
exactly.
probably definitely growing.
People are going to the warmer climates because it's so cold. It's been getting so
Yes.
cold up in the north.
So sending sunshine up to those northern states for the ones that are still up there, like our Blue and Brookie.
But they love it.
They do.
They're
Yeah.
big-blooded people. They are. They're used to the cold.
Well, you adapt to your environment, is what I've found. Because I know I'm not as cold anymore in the cold as I used to be when I first left Florida 2 years ago. I was able to handle it a lot better this year up there in Vermont. Kathy Hand asks, where is Oksana from originally?
I grew up in Estonia, so next to Finland and Russia. At that time, when I was little, it was still a Soviet Union. But when I was around 12 years old, 13 years old, the country, fell apart, and Estonia became its independent state. Now we are part of European Union and part of NATO. So I'm from there. Thank you for asking.
I just love to hear you talk,
And because I grew up in a Russian background, my first language that I spoke was Russian. Because my half family, some of them from Russia and some of them from Ukraine. So lots of my family is from Ukraine. So my mom's mother, she lived in Ukraine during World War II. And my grandfather was a commander of like Soviet army. So he fell in love with her and basically asked her to move with him to Estonia. That's where. So instead of Ukraine, I guess now I was born in Estonia. How interesting. Huh?
Very interesting.
But at that time, there was another group. They were considered terrorists in Ukraine at that time. They called them, I don't want to pronounce the name of that organization, but the son of that also was in love with my grandma. But they were dangerous people. So my mom told me that my grandma chose my grandfather because she knew there is no future.
Right.
So she it was interesting.
Yeah, she had the safety and security.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Kathy says you are beautiful and I love your accent.
Thank you so much.
And Kathy says, Yelena is from the Ukraine. Oh, Elena. Yes, Elena Zotlin. She's not on this morning, but maybe she's listening. I hope so, because we just fell in love with her. She came to the retreat and it was the first time for any of us meeting her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for many of you, this is the first time meeting Oksana as well. Yeah. Pat Moss asks a prayer for her daughter, Deborah. Sure will. And Marisol, good morning, sweetie. Marisol, prayers for my mom, please. Certainly will. Kathleen asks, please pray for Chad Ehlers, his little daughter, Mia, who just finished 3 years of chemo, and his little son, Chris. His ex-wife has moved many hours away with the children. He tirelessly raises money for childhood cancer research and children's hospitals. Mia is 4 years old, loves her dada, who took such good care of her. He and the children are devastated. Please pray for the entire family, including the mother. Yes, absolutely. We're wrapping arms of love around all of them and praying for a miracle to happen, Kathleen. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Christina, good morning, Christina. Speaking of being in cold country, Christina's in Michigan.
Oh, wow.
It's very cold.
Yeah. And she says prayers for Ukraine and all wanting peace. So let's go into our hearts in these few minutes we have left. And just remember the prayers that have been mentioned this morning that we will add to our prayer list. And remember, everyone on that prayer list was brought to us by a loved one, someone who asked us to be of service. And that's our mission with the Peace on Earth tours, to bring more love, light, joy, and peace into the world. So just take a breath of love in, see it coming in directly from the divine, the creator. Let it fill your heart with love, with compassion, and with joy. And in that love, that beautiful state of being, just send it out into the world, wherever it's needed. Whoever needs the light touch right now that just says you are not alone. There are those who care. There are those who want the very best in your life. And that's what we do. We're of ministry in this way. So thank you to all who brought your loved ones to us. And we just lift them up with love. And then we have to let it go. We can't keep carrying the burden or it brings our vibration down. So we lift our vibration to lift them. And then we just let God take it from there and pray that those prayers are seen and acknowledged and answered for the best and highest good of all. And thank you with gratitude to all, gratitude to the Creator, to Divine Mother, to Christ, and to all the masters, all of our loved ones, all the angels, the elementals. Thank you to all who are guardians over the earth, guardians over each one of us. And then we turn our attention to each other. And this is one of my favorite parts of the Morning Cuppa. We love on each other. And we just pull that love into our heart again with breath. And on the count of 3, 2, 1, we give it away. Thank you. I love you. And when you do that, just feel that love coming back to you. Feel the big hug from everybody that's participating, sending love forward, paying it forward for what's in your heart. And all the prayers that you all are putting in there, I will add them to the list. Prayers for your supervisor's son, Tyler. We'll certainly do that. Oh, Kathy, lifting with love, honey. Okay, well, I've certainly enjoyed the show this morning, and I want to thank you, beautiful ladies.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, everyone. And thanks for a warm welcome.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Is there any reading or any poem that you would like to end us with?
You want to pick a poem from this
You
book?
want to just open it and find one, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So open it up. Right there. Ah, beautiful. Prayer for the daily grind. Don't we all need that? Dear God, I need your help to help me to get through this day. I hate my job. I find it tough and hard. It does not really interest me. I find it boring and it makes me tired. Help me to see the positive in what I do so it won't feel like a daily grind. You know, I love this. And I love that years ago, I was in that position. I did have a job that it was just like, can I make it through the day? And just watching the clock so that, the hours, I would know when it was time to get up out of that chair and go out the door. And I changed that around by focusing on what that job did for me.
Yes.
It put a roof over my head. It put food on the table. It paid the bills. So turning it around, you can say, I get to go to work. Instead of I have to go to this horrible job, just say, I get to go to work. I get to have the things that I need to survive. So I love that. And Kathy said that was the perfect prayer.
Oh,
Yes.
The other thing is to think of that job as the means, as you said, to take care of your daily needs.
Right.
So then you can pursue your passion, whether your passion is a spiritual path, whatever it is that supports that passion.
Right.
So, be grateful you have it,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that in general, every time we reject something and reject by not liking, holding resentment and other strong, low vibrational feelings. Usually when we don't, we reject it, it means we reject our faith.
Yeah.
So the first step in healing, as you said, it's accept. So once you accept, then you start healing, and then you accept, then you almost like accept. So by accepting it, then you healing it, and by then you start appreciating. And once you start appreciating, you will bless it. And they have no choice but to change. And so I try not to criticize or reject anything in my life. I try to accept everything.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Isn't she so wise?
Wow, thank you.
Linda says 3 wise ladies. Yeah. And Kathy said, yes, that she's getting weary of her daily grind. But Jean, that's why I am working. Yeah. And Kathleen said, I went through that for many years, but because of that job, I'm able to do the things I'm doing now with Auto Bear. Now, so grateful for that job. Yeah, that's the same with me. I retired. I took early retirement, and it's because of that and the generosity of the supporters that I'm able to travel around the country and bring peace into different areas. So yeah, look at everything as a blessing instead of as a punishment.
To say thank you to Kathy for sending Auto Bear. We haven't actually, we just got it last night, and I wanted to ask Max to open the box himself. So we got the box. So we got the Auto Bear and the book. So thank you so much.
Yeah, maybe we can, if you'll open it this morning, maybe I'll videotape it for you. And we can.
So we're about to open it after breakfast.
Yay. Oh, I like that. Can be accept the line, heal and deliver.
So thank you so much for a generous gift. It was so unexpected and so kind of you to send Mark a gift of a Auto Bear.
Yeah, I can't wait to see his face when he gets Auto Bear. All right, well, what time is it?
It's
It is Leo time. Are the girls ready to dance? Hockey and Gruff, wake up. We got a Cuppa Fulla Joy for you.
Good morning, Earthlings. It's time to get up and get ready because today is the perfect day to have a great day.
Oh, you love
Here we go, come on, come on. Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One of it. Peace for peace, so let me show for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead wherever we may be. We create a photo where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Because the angels and the masters take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on the high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the B's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on the high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the B's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a Cuppa Fulla Joy. Give me a Cuppa Fulla Joy. Give me a Cuppa Fulla Joy. Give me a Cuppa Fulla. Cuppa full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top here. The coffee's always hot and the trust is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we all part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team. And inside the dust, there is always more space in the pot. For more love, take a spot to get the day started. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of love. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of love. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of love. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of love. There really is no secret. We simply accept,
allow.
AAA, morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Cuppa full of joy. Cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a joy. Give me a cuppa joy. Give me a cuppa joy.
Woo! Thank you everyone for joining today, and the blessing of Jean and Oksana here with me. I'm just so happy that we were together this morning and that all of you were here joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay in your heart, stay blessed, and we'll see you later. Namaste, y'all. Bye,
Love you.
everyone. We love you so much.
Have a great day.